We like to start every episode with the disclaimer that we are not professionals. Our conversations are solely based on our personal experiences, thoughts, and opinions. Nothing discussed here is meant to be taken as professional mental health or medical advice. If you have questions or need assistance, please seek the help of a licensed professional.
Discussions in this podcast may sometimes revolve around heavy material such as abuse, grooming, religious trauma, and more. Please listen with caution and prioritize your mental health first.
Welcome to Trauma Bondage,
the podcast where we talk about trauma, kinks, and non-traditional lifestyles and relationships from a queer lens.
We're your hosts,
Brigitte
and Beth.
Hi guys, welcome back. Woohoo, Madison's back.
I'm back.
We have more.
Did you
We
miss
never
me?
let her leave, actually. She is now our prisoner.
Passenger prisoner, this is what I was saying.
Only for you two mommies.
Thank you. We should have done this whole episode handcuffed together. A trio.
I have this belt.
We literally have everything anyone could ever want, aside from blonde hair.
I have it under this.
Oh, yeah, you are blonde.
This is dyed. This is not
Really?
real.
It's true.
Oh
we
my
need
God,
yours
yeah,
to
I'm
grow
blind.
out.
I had no idea.
Yeah.
You look
Dark
great
hair
as a
suits
brunette.
you.
Yeah.
Yes, it does. Thank you. That's why I've kept it.
Mine is actually like a dirty, like brown blonde color too.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
but-
I can see that.
yeah, but no, black. And what color is yours naturally?
Like hers. Not
Blonde?
natural, what you have
Like
dyed to.
The brown.
Oh.
Yeah.
Like a nice chocolatey brown.
And yours looks so good with red.
Thank you.
It's, you know, nature doesn't always get it right.
Yep, and that's okay.
We fix it. Anyways, welcome back.
And yeah, that's a testament to what this episode's about to be.
We are chaotic because we're always chaotic the second episode we film.
Yeah.
We've had candy. We've had some mocktails and some real tails.
Some real tails.
And some fish tails. What are they
some
called?
fish tails?
Swedish
Swedish
tails.
fish.
Yeah.
They're just fish.
No, I wanted it to rhyme, though. I wanted
Okay.
it to be
Mocktails, real tails,
tails,
fish
dating
tails.
fish.
tails.
Ooh.
Ooh.
That was good.
Thank
That's
you.
what we're going to be talking about on
Yeah.
this episode.
Yeah.
But
So-
first, mocktails.
Mocktails, yes. First, mocktails. We talked a little bit about your photography career in the last episode. We want to get into your new podcast that you recently launched
Yes.
called Sober Girls Gone Wild.
Y'all should listen, tune in. We
Yes.
will link it below.
yes.
Oh, thank you.
Yes, we will.
Yeah, you can find us on, not us, me. You can find me and us on Spotify and Apple Podcasts and on Instagram at Sober Girls Gone Wild. But I host a podcast for my day job, and I know how to run a podcast very well. I never thought I would have my own and what I would talk about and what people would want to listen to. I have been sober for a year and a half. Christmas of this year will be 2 years. And I went sober because my mental health was deteriorating and I needed to be put on a medication that I couldn't mix with alcohol, and I cut it out completely. I did not like the person I was when I was drinking, and I made the decision to cut it out, and I haven't looked back since. And my life has gotten significantly more exciting and fun and wonderful, and I've really grown in my career since cutting out drinking. So I created the podcast Sober Girls Gone Wild to share with other people that whether you are fully sober, sober-ish, sober curious, or maybe just wanting to drink a little bit less, you can still have a fun, exciting, thrilling, wild life without alcohol.
And you do.
Hell yeah.
You are a perfect example of that.
Thank you.
Yeah.
She does fun things.
I love to
Seriously.
do fun things.
Yeah, I live vicariously through you half the time. I know, I'm doing fun things too, but like I want to do your fun things. But I can't do your fun things because I don't have your skill sets.
So we just watch from
So I
afar.
just watch from afar. It's the voyeurism. It's me in the corner
No, but
with my
listen,
book.
Madison is the best friend ever because if she's doing something cool that she knows that we will want to like participate in and we can't be there, she'll FaceTime.
Yeah.
Like, we'll get a FaceTime and I'm like
a concert.
Where's she at?
In the middle of a concert.
and it's just me like in the wings of Fletcher's set at
Literally
Summerfest.
backstage at Fletcher.
Front row at Chapel Road.
Like, hi, friends. Come be with me.
the camera around.
I'm like, okay, bye. Love you.
Making sure you're always included. I love it.
Yeah, it's amazing.
But yeah, so being sober, especially in the industry that you work in,
Yes.
is probably a bit of a challenge, or probably has been, or at least you probably get a lot of people that are like, why?
Yes.
Like, come do this.
I do not have to give a reason why to anyone.
Nope.
Nobody does. There are hundreds of reasons why you could quit drinking. You could not like the way it tastes. It's pretty expensive to go out to drink. I was spending a lot of money on alcohol. Maybe you're pregnant. Maybe you don't drink for health reasons, whether that's physical, mental, spiritual. Maybe you practice the faith where they don't allow drinking.
Maybe you actually have an addiction that you're trying
Yes,
to recover from.
the addiction and recovery aspect as well. There's so many reasons, and you shouldn't have to justify that. But the music industry is so heavily saturated by alcohol. It's insane. The artists and the whole crew feels the need to drink in order to prepare to be on stage. And it's just this constant state of, and this is not everyone, not every artist I work with. There's a lot that don't. I've worked with several sober musicians as well. Some who drink in moderation, some who drink as celebration after big events and milestones. But there are some who, whether they're in the recording studio or they're rehearsing their set or they're at sound check or they're at the bar after the show or they're in the green room backstage, they're constantly needing to fill a void with substances in order to prepare to go on stage. But I believe that you should be focusing on the courage that comes within, not relying on liquid courage in order to be on stage.
I will say, like, it's always interesting to me, especially in the music industry, because that's what my whole background is. And I have in the past, like, I would take like a shot of tequila to go on stage, but it was usually for things that I was so nervous. And I was like, okay, I need to pinpoint the stage fright aspect and like what's actually freaking me out about it and stop doing this, because I don't like drink heavily. So I was like, I don't really like having to rely on this, but also like for your vocal cords.
I was about to say, as
like,
someone who also sings, I can't imagine
it just
doing that.
It zaps you. Like, I don't know how they're doing that before performances and still like doing it every night or like as much as they sing. Like,
my body would like give out.
My vocal cords would be shot. Like, I'd have to cancel all kinds of stuff. I don't know how they're doing it.
And it's not just alcohol. It's
I'm
everything.
Sure.
They're
Every
offering everything. And they'll say, well, why don't you want to take shots with us? Like, we're all taking shots. And I'm like, oh, I'm not going to take a shot, but like, I'll take a photo of you taking your shot. And then they're like, oh, okay, whatever. And they seem to get so offended when I don't drink. And it's also it caused me to be turned away from a lot of opportunities because people automatically assume that just because I don't drink means I'm boring or I'm in the way or that it's going to be triggering to me. That's not the case. I am more than qualified and capable to be in the green room with you, to be on stage with you, to be in the pit, to be on the tour bus. If anything, I'm more capable because I'm fully aware of my surroundings and I know I'm not going to miss anything.
Yeah.
And I'm able to get my job done.
What if you're just able to be like, hey, I don't drink when I work, but thanks.
And then
would they consider that?
And then they'll hit you with the, oh, but it's just me. Like, it's okay, just one shot. Like, no, come on, everybody's taking. And then you're like,
no is a full sentence.
Yes.
Yeah, I think it's the peer pressure aspect of it is what's crazy to me, because it's like, I didn't drink until I was 21. I had alcohol on my 21st birthday, but like, I got that in high school and all through college. I didn't drink in college. And it was like people almost were acting like they couldn't have a good time unless you were drinking.
Yep.
You were ruining their good time because you won't drink.
Yes.
Which is crazy.
And that's so not the case. I am so fucking fun.
You are.
And I do not need alcohol to prove that. And also, you don't really want to hang out with me if I'm drinking either. It makes me into this person that I'm not super proud of.
Okay.
And why not? Like, I talked about this in the first episode of my podcast. I can't be your designated driver, but I can be your designated person.
That's right, because you can't drive.
Because I can't drive. So like my friend Josh, he's my audio producer. He said, well, you can't be the DD, but you can be the DP. And I'm like, that's hilarious. I love that. I'm keeping that. But I can be the designated person to look out for my friends, to make sure that everybody's getting in an Uber, they're getting home safely.
Yeah.
Like, did you...
They're safe throughout the night.
Yes,
yeah.
did you get your ID? Did you close out your tab? Okay, do you really want to give your phone number to that person? Or are you just drunk right now? Like...
Yeah. Or like you're acting a little more out of sorts than normal. You've been drinking. Did you get
Yes.
roofied? Like,
Yes.
let me make sure that you don't disappear right now.
Yeah. And it is still a little difficult. I find that going out dancing is a little difficult sober. I'm working on that this year, is getting more comfortable being out and like dancing at a club with friends. But I have no issue being out, and I'm still fun, and I love to be around other people. And you see how much energy I have right now. This is the fully sober version of me. It's just hyped up on a little bit of Swedish fish, but that's it. Like, what you see is what you get.
Yeah. I've only ever known you sober. Like, you were sober when I met you.
Yeah.
So I don't
Same.
know another version of you, but you've always been like,
I like this version of
fun
you.
and-
You don't have to do anything else.
Yeah.
You're
Thank
perfect as
I
you are.
appreciate that.
yeah, you are.
Yeah.
And I feel like this is like a lesson for everybody, like, because, you know, I think if this is not talked about, you probably don't know, but like if someone doesn't drink, like, your first question should not be like, why?
Yeah.
Like Madison was saying, like, no one's entitled to that. Like, if they want to tell you, great. But like, we haven't really even fully had this conversation, like, as friends.
Yeah.
It's just like, I've always known that you don't drink.
This
And-
is something I like about my dad. He asks people when like they come to his house, would you like a beverage, soft or otherwise?
I love that. That's cute.
Because it just includes everyone.
Yeah.
Like, do you sure, I'd love a Lipton iced tea.
Yeah.
That's the answer. He goes, cool. And that's it. And I feel like everybody should just adopt that.
Yeah. And that's what's so great about our friend group and about you guys, is that you always make sure that there's options.
Girl, we made non-alcoholic Jell-O shots.
Yes,
they were
that
literally
was-
just Jell-O cups.
They were just Jell-O and little
Jell-O.
cups for the 4th of July, and that made my entire week, and they were so good. And when Beth hosts, she always has options for
Little
me.
mocktail.
Yes, and nobody ever questions it, and that is another thing that we'll continue talking about on my podcast, is how can restaurants and bars and corporate events and music venues and all of these different places be more inclusive and have fun beverages for sober people or just people who aren't drinking at that time to partake in. That's not just soda water and lime or a Diet Coke. There's so many amazing mocktail options out there. There are 0 proof spirits, everything from tequila, vodka,
Beer.
beer, like all kinds of canned mocktails, alcohol removed wines. There's so many amazing options, drinks that have adaptogens and CBD and so many fun things. We should be more inclusive and provide more options to people in public settings. And Dallas is slowly but surely making its way towards that, which is really awesome. But I love that as my friends, you always make sure I'm included too. And,
Yes.
and it makes me feel really special when I know that there's a fun little beverage I can partake in too. And then anybody else who decides that they
maybe
want
just
want to
drink
as well.
that night.
we had a pool party not too long ago, and some people just, they wanted to stop and they were like, oh, let me switch to something else. And then they're like, wow, this really doesn't have any alcohol. And I'm like, yeah. It's that good.
No, honestly, you coming into my life too, because like I've never felt like I had to drink, and I don't think I am a heavy drinker in general. I just never have been. But this year especially, there were a lot of times where I was like I'm just really disenchanted with alcohol, and I didn't want to spend the money, and like I just didn't want to. And I was like, oh, like, I feel like it's not weird because I have a friend group of people that, like, have people like Madison who are just like, I don't give a fuck, and nobody's thinking about it. So I don't have to explain
There isn't
myself
the peer
away.
pressure.
Well, it's also not like well, are you having a problem? Like, no, I don't drink that much. I
Yes.
drink like 2 drinks and I'm done. But like, I just don't feel like it.
Yeah.
And I don't have to go through like I'm having like a sober September. Like, I just get to choose not to drink sometimes. And
I have
nobody
cut
bats
back
an
a
eye.
lot too.
Yeah.
My wife and I have. Like, we said we're in our wine era. Because,
Do
like,
love wine.
if we drink, we'll have, like, a glass of wine at home. And, like, that's pretty much it. Like, I haven't been wanting to drink a lot. But, like, also, I feel like we're all in this phase right now where, like, we're being a little bit more, like, I don't know, like, quality time means
Yeah.
more. Like,
Same.
a lot of the stuff we do, we're like doing it here, or we're doing it like in smaller groups, and we're like going to the pool. We're doing like activities versus I feel like there was a period in my life, at least, where it was like club, like every weekend, like
Girl.
always out.
I was trying to keep up with you, and I was dying.
Yeah,
I was
like
dying.
a game night. I was
we
dying.
watch a movie.
Yes.
yeah. Which that's the era we're in now.
Yes.
Thank God. Everyone's going to survive.
Yes.
But yeah, it just makes it, like you've said before, you can remember your night. Like you remember your moments with people. You can get a lot closer to people. You're not throwing up on each other, which is always nice.
Yes.
Yeah. Or being carried out of bars.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. And I just want to make it abundantly clear to everyone listening at home that is your relationship with alcohol is your decision to make for yourself. There is no judgment. If you want to throw back 20 shots in a night, go for it. If you can have a 6-pack of beer, or you can have 2 glasses of wine, or you can have just one individual cocktail, you know your limits, and that's your decision to make. There's no judgment. I will be your friend, whether you want to take 20 shots or you want to not drink for 20 years. Mm-hmm. That doesn't change my opinion of you, but be safe and be smart about it.
Yep. Yeah. With that, go check out Sober Girls
Gone Wild.
Yes, please go support another queer creator.
Yes.
And a really awesome person.
Called that a queer creator.
We are queer creators. Yeah, you're a queer creator. So go support another one, please, please, please. I am going to utilize this conversation to segue into the dating world.
Yeah.
So with we'll go ahead and use with the sobriety, how has that affected your dating? And then tell us about some of the experience you've had there.
It has been interesting. I actually just recorded an episode on Tuesday about sobriety and creativity and dating. So that will be coming out very soon. But at first it was very, very difficult, and I was ashamed to bring it up. So I would just say, oh, I'm not drinking tonight, or I would intentionally, I used to do this all the time. I would intentionally get there 20 minutes early, so I could order my mocktail and close out my tab, no questions asked, and then just sit down at the table, wait for them to show up, and then I don't have to explain anything.
Yeah.
And then they'd be like, oh, well, I'll have what she's having. They'd be like, oh, I took a shot and then I switched to a mocktail or whatever.
Yeah.
Then it took me about 6 months of not drinking to call myself sober, and I realized I actually am a sober person, and to pursue that. I had people, particularly men, this was in my fully men era, who would be really bothered by that, and they would think, I don't want to pursue a relationship with this person because they automatically assume that means they have to go sober. And I'm not asking anybody to do that. You don't have to change your life or your habits for me. I would never make somebody change an aspect of themselves. But if you're going to go out with the boys and, black out 3 nights a week, you're probably not the person for me. Mm-hmm. So then I started putting it in my profiles on Unhinged and Bumble and whatnot when I was on the apps, just saying that I'm sober. And I do encourage going out for some sort of drink for a first date, because I'll never do dinner for a first date. I've done it before. It's awful.
Yeah.
You get stuck. It's always the worst people. And then it's like, okay.
They talk for hours.
Yes. And they have no table manners.
You guys are talking about people, and I'm like, you have to eat ribs.
Or spaghetti
How
or something. Yeah. And it's like, okay, who's paying for what? And what if you don't look like your photo, or like, I don't know. There's so many things that could go wrong. But a drink is short, sweet, and to the point. This doesn't have to mean an alcoholic drink. I love a coffee date. Typically that happens during the day.
Yeah.
I love coffee dates.
And then if you want to extend it to grabbing lunch.
Yeah.
Or going to a bookstore or going for a walk. There's so many ways that you can carry that forward.
We're going to go on a date. We're going to get coffee and go to a bookstore.
Yes, we are.
I was going to say, we're just planning our next
friend hang.
Yeah.
Yes,
Friend hang.
Absolutely. But I really just had a shift where I decided I'm not going to be afraid to tell anybody this. And the right person will not be bothered by that.
Yeah.
I don't know if you want to start with dating men or dating women or where you want to go from there, but because you just had that kind of turnover.
Well, we talked a little bit about your relationship with your ex. That was E&M.
Yes.
Maybe we should start there.
Yeah. So I don't know what it is about me attracting people who do van life.
Live in cars. It's because you have no car.
But why?
You need someone to drive you around.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean you gotta live in it.
I mean, apparently it's
that's it.
overcompensating.
I think it's because you're adventurous and you're always traveling, and they see that, and they are always
And that's how you
traveling,
connect.
And they are like, you go all these places.
Yeah.
I go all these
We're both
places.
adventurous and outgoing and doing all these things, but they just so happen to live in a van.
Yes. And there's nothing wrong with that. Van life can be done well.
Yeah.
It is not for me.
You love like a hipster vibe a little bit.
I do. Like I really love a man with a mustache and a little bit of creativity, which is kind of hard to find.
Yeah.
All of that.
I mean, especially with men, I feel like the hipster. You're saying like man with a mustache and creativity. They're all either in vans
Or married.
Sure, but they're in vans or they're like brewing beer in the forest.
Wolf is shaking his head. Yes.
Yeah, right?
And I was going to be like, they are a brewery.
Yeah, they've got growlers. Like, fill your growler. Like, that's what I feel.
I could totally.
Tattooing.
Yes. Love.
That would be it.
That tracks.
Heaven.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I would totally support that. I'd be like, okay, let me join the team and let's come up with some alcohol-free alternatives that we can offer at your brewery.
Are any of your tattoos from an ex?
Now
I have to ask that.
Not an ex-boyfriend, but an ex-hookup has done a few. He did my my Aperol Spritz lady. This is when I was still drinking. Little Aperol Spritz because that was my favorite cocktail. And then he also did my my cowboy boots after this one.
Oh,
after I have two sets of boots. After I moved to Texas, that was like my celebratory move to Texas tattoo. And he also has tattooed my mom for her first ever tattoo.
What? Does she know that you guys were a thing?
No. Sometimes I think my parents think I'm a virgin, but
I think all parents wish that of their children.
It's better for them to think that.
Yeah. Like she doesn't know. She knows we went on one date. It was like he was tattooing me and it was flirty, and then we went on one date and he talked about his ex-wife for 2.5 hours.
Oh,
don't do that.
And I got like 6 words in.
Then we went on nun date.
And that was it. And I haven't gone back to that shop since, and I've since found a new awesome tattoo artist.
We dig that. Yeah.
Okay, so
Van
you
life,
dated...
man.
Oh, yeah, sorry.
We digress.
Yes. So I attract men who do van life, which I everybody's lifestyle is different. I respect that. The relationship was really good for a while. He was there for me through some very dark mental health stuff and going through things with coming out to my family.
Mm-hmm.
He was very supportive, and I really do appreciate that about him, and I don't want to take that away from our relationship. But at the end of the day, it just wasn't going to work. And
fair enough. Shit happens.
Yeah. We ended things in February, and then I was like, okay, if I'm going to date women, there's no better time than now. So it was kind of off and on. Like, I was on the apps, and they were set to both, and I was like, I don't know. I'm so confused. And here we are.
There was somebody else in the middle of that.
There was some fuckery in the middle.
Yeah.
There was fuckery in the middle of that.
The fuckery overlapped with the ex-boyfriend, and yeah, it actually completely overlapped.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
Can we get into it?
Yes, let's get into it.
We're going to preface this, guys. We have made a mention in one of our previous episodes about a little human named Bagel Bitch.
Bagel
Human
Bitch.
or demon?
We're demons. Don't give her that power.
That's true.
Oh, no. Yes,
NPC, honestly.
An NPC named Bagel Bitch. And we're going to talk a little bit about Madison's experience with this person, only for you to later have a couple episodes on some serious tea also surrounding this individual.
All will be exposed.
All will come.
All will
but
come
like
to
we're
light.
just giving it to you in doses so that we can like, it's like edging, but like a fun way.
Right.
Where you get like little bits of like, ooh,
You get a little
I wanna know more
orgasm
of this.
here,
Yeah.
and you're going to get like 20 in
And
the
like,
next
what
episode.
The fuck? So,
That's just like the full squirt.
the full
squirt.
The full squirt.
For the full squirt, please tune in to the next episode. We're going to give you a little mini squirt.
Just like a small, just like a little,
Just a little drop.
spritz.
yeah. So Bagel Bitch, I imagine you'll explain the meaning behind the name
Yes.
Bagel Bitch over the next few episodes.
In a couple episodes,
Yeah.
yeah.
We
For
will.
now, we'll just stick to calling her Bagel Bitch. So
It'll click. I promise.
yeah, it'll all come together very, very soon. So
You couldn't though. Sorry.
Spoilers.
Life changing for me.
I looked you deep into your soul when I said that. I'm so sorry. No, I'm not. That was great.
Bridget's tool is giving her extra power today.
okay, whew, yes,
Basically, that sums it
all
up.
of the above. Yes. So
You're not the only one from what we've heard. So you're in good company.
that was hilarious. Okay, so Bagel Bitch. So where do I begin?
How did
So
you meet?
We can start with like
So fun fact about Beth and I is we actually met through Hinge a long time ago. And we never ended up going out, but we kept in touch through social media and decided, hey, we should like get a drink and let's be friends. And then you immediately took me under your wing, introduced me to all of my closest friends now, which I'm so grateful for, and just really have been like such a
I
wonderful.
was like, we will take you.
Yes.
Come here.
Yes. I was like, I need you to teach me everything you know about being gay. And you're like,
little
I
duck.
got you. And
I am like the mother gay over here.
Yes.
So I was like, just come.
I love that.
Yes.
I'll tell you everything.
And we just totally hit it off and became great friends and became great friends with your wife. And it was awesome. And you had a former an ex-best friend.
Ex-friend, yeah. I never referred to her as my best friend.
Ex-friend.
She was just a friend. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Ex-friend, Bagel Bitch, who I thought was very attractive. And you decided to do a little...
Meet
hey,
cute.
Want to meet?
Yeah, girls' brunch. And you ended up getting sick, and we had to cancel on brunch. And shortly after that, I see her on Hinge, and I think, this is a sign. So I'm like, ooh, gotta tell Beth.
This is the moment. Sorry, more musical theater references. Just ignore
You
me.
texted me.
Yeah.
So I texted Beth, and I was like,
Hey.
and then we made the connection, and we went out. And our second date was Beth's Halloween party.
God, I forgot about that. Yeah.
And it was actually
That's where I met you.
Yes.
Yeah.
And it was actually so much fun. You guys always throw the best parties. But
And then you were what? You were like a little red devil.
I was the devil.
Yeah, my
and
wife couldn't stop talking about you. It was fucking hilarious. I was
You were
like,
making
girl.
her gay panic.
I
yeah.
was new. Like I met everyone for the first time that night.
Everyone was in love with you.
Yeah.
FYI.
And that was the first time that I had sex at a party before.
In my bed. I knew it was happening too. I was like,
Wasn't that the same party that you and your wife were fucking in the bathroom and you opened the door and I was like, did you have a nice fuck?
and I was like, yeah,
Yes,
the rug is
we
wet.
did. Thank you. It's like, cool.
That's every party though.
So yeah, that was a fun party. And then we started dating. I was still dating my boyfriend at the time and was slowly developing an emotional connection with this person. But I was unsure if she was developing an emotional connection with me. There would be moments where it would appear like she was, and then
It's very one-sided.
slowly it would kind of diminish, and then there'd be a really sweet text, or there'd be flowers, and I'd be like, oh, maybe this is something more. And we were spending a lot of time together, you know, a couple days in a row. As somebody who doesn't drive, she, to me, lives kind of far. She lived like, you know, I don't know, 20-ish minutes away. And so I was Ubering out to her all the time, and then Ubering back in the morning to get back in time for work. And all that to say, it just slowly started going downhill from there.
Yeah.
And that was my first real experience, long-term, dating a woman. I think we dated for 3 months?
Couple months.
Yeah, around 3 months, which in lesbian is like 4 years.
Yeah. And I could see, I was watching it, like, as both of your friends. Like, I was watching you put in a lot of effort and, like, be really open. Like, you were very, like, open emotionally, and she was just not. And, like, I was also watching her, like, she wouldn't talk about it a lot, but just, like, not communicate, like, basic things that you should communicate to someone you're dating.
Yeah.
To you. And I didn't realize until, like, after y'all ended everything how much she wasn't communicating, because, like, I'm not in the relationship.
Yeah.
But I noticed as, like, an outsider, I was like, huh, like, this is, like, a little bit off.
Yeah.
But you were a great girlfriend to her.
You were.
You were amazing.
You're so sweet.
Yeah.
For Christmas, I got her a lighter with a picture of my ass on it.
She didn't deserve Madison's ass ever. Literally. A lighter or in person.
To be fair, I also got a duplicate of that lighter and gave it to my ex-boyfriend. And then when we broke up, I took it back. And now it's on display on my trinket shelf in my apartment.
Yes!
As it should be.
The little hot pink magpie that you are.
Yes.
I love
Yeah.
Ugh.
But that was a time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I look back and people have asked me, do you regret that?
Mm-hmm.
And I don't regret it because it taught me a lot. It taught me how to go on multiple dates with a woman, which was still very, very new to me.
Yeah.
It taught me a lot of the physical aspect as well. And how to bring somebody I'm dating into a friend group, even though she was already in the friend group before me, but how to, like, be as essentially a couple around our friends. That was really fun for me to have a partner to bring to the group and to the activities and to the New Year's party and the Christmas parties and everything. And then I kind of blacked out and I don't remember a whole lot else. There's like a period of time where I blacked out.
Yeah.
Not from drinking.
Not from drinking, from trauma.
Trauma and anxiety.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, you just weren't treated well by that person. And I mean, again, we'll get into the whole backstory in future episodes, but you were a great partner.
Thank you.
And you were a great friend through all of that. And you handled everything really respectfully.
Yes.
And really well. And now it's paid off because look at you now.
Yes.
You're with an amazing person that loves you very much.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I love them too very much.
And we love them.
yes.
They're literally upstairs right now.
Yeah. They're broing out.
My favorite part was that they didn't tell you that they were coming. when you got here, we were like, I was like, hey, you didn't tell Madison you were coming? And they're like, no, I just, I figured we'd both just show up. I was like, what? It's so
serious.
cute.
Like, but that's so like
It's
healthy.
It's wholesome.
Yeah.
It's so healthy. Like, yeah, like I just trust that she trusts me, and I'm going here, and like, oh, she'll just be happy to see me.
Yes.
Yeah.
I was.
Because that's exactly what you were, and that's
Yeah.
exactly who you are.
So cute.
Like, you should, like, because there are some people I know that would happen. They'd get pissed off.
Mm-hmm.
Like, why the hell didn't you tell me you're coming over here? Like,
Not me. If
What?
anything, I'm like, oh my gosh, I wish you told me so I could have, like, I don't know, like, ran up and picked you up or something.
oh my gosh. So I could have planned cuteness.
Yes.
Yeah.
Precious.
That's cute.
I feel like I didn't really touch on some of Bagel Bitch, and I know you're going to unpack that more.
You can say
Touch on whatever you
anything
want.
to.
Have you ever gone on a date with someone who you feel like you're just talking to a wall? Like they just have the personality of a rock, and not even like a nice gem, but just like
Yeah.
a rock.
Like,
Like,
I've been mean to rocks. I
Like
used
a
to have
gray
pet rock.
stone.
yes, like something that is in the creek. And it's not even smooth.
Greek bitch. 2.0 bagel bitch. It's Greek bitch.
That's what our dates felt like. And there would be moments where it would be really, like, I'd catch glimpses of we'd be out dancing and it'd be so fun and kissing, or she would get me a really thoughtful Christmas gift, or take me to brunch at her favorite little spot that she used to go to with her family, and things that were really meaningful, but then it was just like nothing. Mm-hmm. And I was just craving, give me some sort of emotional connection. Like, if we're spending that many nights together and we're going on all these dates and doing all of these couple-y activities, and you're meeting my friends and I'm meeting your friends, and I need something.
It's
give me some
breadcrumbing.
Yes,
Like,
exactly.
I give you just
about
enough
to
to
say
keep
that.
you around.
It was breadcrumbing.
It was breadcrumbing. It's,
And looking
yeah.
back, knowing everything she was doing behind the scenes that you didn't know about at the time, it was breadcrumbing.
Absolutely.
But we didn't know exactly what was happening at that point. I just thought maybe she was giving you more behind closed doors than, like, it appeared she was. But it sounds like she wasn't. I don't think that, like, she's a very emotionally developed person in general. And I think that's probably why you were feeling like nothing.
I think the age gap too was hard for me because I believe she's 8 years older than me. Mm-hmm. But for 24, I'm pretty mature. I know it doesn't seem like it.
You're more mature than her.
You are, and you're very established in your life and who you are and what you want. And
thank you.
And that's you're confident.
You're confident, and you're talented and stuff like that. But like, you're humble, and you can acknowledge your flaws and you work on them actively, and that puts you a cut above the rest, in my opinion. And you're with somebody who didn't do any of that.
Yeah.
The emotional intelligence was just not on the same level.
Mm-mm.
No, and I think, honestly, looking back, I almost wonder if, like, what kept you in it was, like, getting those little glimpses.
I had hope.
And then being, like almost, like, wanting something that wasn't there, but, like, you thought might be there. Which, haven't we all been in relationships like that?
Yeah.
Breadcrumbing. Bethany, would you like to explain what breadcrumbing is to the audience for those who are listening?
I would love to.
Because we're both little babies who have been dealing with that.
So breadcrumbing, oh God, it's so painful to watch your friends go through this. Like, I could murder everyone who's ever done this to y'all. Truly.
She will.
I will. But it's basically where it's a narcissistic trait, first of all. And it's something that people do when they're trying to keep you interested and engaged enough to keep interacting with them. It's usually used in, like, dating situations. But they don't want to, like, fully invest with you. They're trying to keep their options open, whether it's emotionally, physically, whatever. So they'll give you little bits of attention, little bits of what you want. They'll give you glimpses of, like, who you want to be dating, and then they'll retract. And then the second they feel that you're going to, like, say something or you're going to fully pull away, they'll come back and give you a little bit more to keep you hooked and keep you on. Like, think about yourself as a duck and think about them as, like, a person just, like, laying little breadcrumbs, and you're following them the whole time.
And it's like a little gaslighty. Like,
that's why I said it's a narcissistic trait to do that.
You're crazy when you feel like you're about to, like, say something. You feel like you're too much because they come back and, like, you're like, oh, wait. Like,
and then they use that as a reason to why you're asking for too much, because look at what they just did for you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And I wasn't asking for too much.
You were getting nothing. You were asking for literally the bare minimum.
Yeah.
And somebody who is, like, emotionally underdeveloped, I won't call them a narcissist, but I'll just say emotionally underdeveloped, can't give you the bare minimum in a relationship. They can't. Like, they are always going to be really, like, self-absorbed in a lot of ways. And, like, for the type of relationship that you are equipped to, like, have with somebody, it was just never going to be enough. Yeah. But I think that people like you and people like you bring out insecurities in people like that, because they know deep down they're not good enough for you. And so they start acting in, like, a reactive, abusive way.
Try to bring you down to their level.
To bring you down.
Yeah.
Exactly. To get you to, like, stick around. Which is why I think, like, the rude comments that were made behind your back and, like, all of that stuff. It's almost like they're running this campaign on the side to try to like make sure you stay at their level. And
also if they want to step away, that they like win.
Exactly. Well, and even when like she ended up breaking up with you, she still wanted to control everything you did and who you were around and who was at your dinner and all of that stuff.
But I was friends with you first.
Yeah. Before
I started dating her.
Yeah.
So.
Exactly. It's like
and
she
look
forgot
who's
that.
still in the friend group and who's not.
Spicy.
This is our spicy
Look
drama.
at that face. She's like,
Madison said it. I mean, the good people stay.
Yep.
So, yeah, it's, it was a tough one. But honestly, like, that period of time, like that last month, like January,
yeah,
I feel like a lot of true colors came out.
Yep.
In that month. Like, you saw it, I saw it. Bridget had apparently been seeing it the whole time, which we'll get into. But we all learned the lesson. If you see something, say something.
Yes.
And that's why I don't hold my tongue around you guys now. If I see something, I'm like, this person is doing this.
yeah. Bethany already reprimanded me and told me if I ever have a problem with someone that I have to tell her immediately.
Good.
Yeah.
I will do
Or
the
she'll
same.
Kill me.
Yeah. I was like, if y'all are clocking things that I'm not clocking, tell me.
Please tell me too.
And
Got
if I'm clocking things that you're not clocking, I will tell you.
This is a pact, everyone.
Yes. It's a trauma bondage pact.
Just say shit to your friends.
Yeah. Or you can
trust your gut.
Yeah.
There are some people that like, also, this is what makes it hard. We're getting into a little bit of like personality disorders here, but like people like this often show different faces to different people.
Yeah.
So somebody that seems like totally fine to you because they're showing you, they're
Maybe
mirroring
an entirely
you.
different person to someone else.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah.
And they might be showing, they might not have their mask up as hard around the other person that's like trying to warn you. And like I had this situation happen with another friend that I cut off. They didn't have their mask on around my wife. They were like themselves with my wife and they had their mask on around me. And my wife was like, this is not normal. I think that situation had happened when I first met you. Remember we talked about literally it had
Like,
a week ago.
Yeah.
It's time for Spicy Trauma.
Each week, we like to wrap up with our spicy trauma.
Tell us your spicy trauma. DM us or use the link in our bio to share your story.
So, we're back again with Spicy Trauma, round 2, with Madison Truscan. Today I'm going to be talking about a situation that happened to me in October of 2023. So, almost a year ago, actually. And this was still in my very, very new to dating women phase. And still while I was with my now ex-boyfriend and in an open relationship. And I had matched with this very beautiful woman on Bumble. And we had plans to go out on, I believe it was a Thursday. We were going to meet for a drink, a little mocktail, a little beveragino. And she had to push it back because she was driving from an hour away because she lives in McKinney, which...
It's far.
It's pretty far. And so she had to push it back. We pushed it back. So this is like literally right after my birthday last October. We make plans to meet up at Atlas. We confirm the date, time, and location of the date. I said, still on for tonight. She says, we're good. Whatever. I said, okay, text me when you're on your way. I didn't hear from her. But I thought, maybe she's at work or she's got phone pulling the navigation up. Whatever. I show up to the bar. First mistake.
Showing up.
I wait for a half an hour. She's a no-show. I text her, still on for tonight? I'm here.
Nothing.
No response.
Oh my God.
So I call. No answer. Immediately to voicemail. And my text goes through as green. So I'm thinking, okay, either her phone is dead or she died or she blocked me. She texts me the next morning. Hey, babe. What again with it? Hey, girl. Hey, babe. Ugh. I just picked up my phone from the repair bullshit. I'm so sorry about not showing up yesterday. I understand if you don't want to hear from me, but I'd love to make it up to you. And I was like, what happened to your phone? I'm glad you're okay. I'd love to go out. Big mistake. She said, no, I'm so sorry. I dropped my phone in the bathtub. I wish I was making that up. Thank you for understanding. I really am sorry. And I was like, I totally get it. Life happens. I'm glad you're okay. I'm glad you don't hate me.
I'm sorry. Can I interject here? So you have no laptop, no iPad, no other phone, no friend that exists that you can go onto social media and find you and say, hey, I'm so sorry. I know we have a date tonight. My phone is fucked. Can we reschedule?
What does this remind you of?
Like the phone book exists. Are you looking at me in an aggressive way right now? Probably. Anyways, continue.
So
This isn't my spicy drama.
It's mine.
long story short, she doesn't show up. I give her the benefit of the doubt. We've all had a phone problem. I try to block out the 100 million red flags that are coming up where she's saying, oh, I'm so sorry, and you're so wonderful and so beautiful, and we'd be so great together, and what are we dressing up as for Halloween, and blah, blah, blah. We make plans to go out again a week later. Same bar, same time.
No.
We confirm. I'm so excited to meet you. What should we wear? I love that question.
What should we wear?
Like, oh, what are you gonna wear? Like, you know, when you date women, it's like,
Yeah, you match a little bit.
yeah, you like coordinate.
I coordinate with you.
That's different. We're not dating. We just happen to do it. I don't like...
Girly pops like it.
I know that.
If you're dating another femme,
I do that
Yeah.
with like Jen, but like that's after we've been together for years. Where like I'm like, oh, we can like kind of match. Like,
it's
color
a
scheme.
femme for femme thing.
Yes.
I've
You know,
done it.
And
Yeah.
she was super femme.
See, I would be weird about it, and I'd be like, you should wear this exact outfit, and then we could show up in the same exact outfit,
So I
and
got
I'd never get a second date ever again in my life. It's fine. I don't know how I've gotten here.
Okay, I finally got this all pulled up. So we make plans to go out, same time, location, whatever. So excited to meet me. I'm so excited to meet her. It's very flirtatious, very spicy. We confirm. Once again, she's a no-show. Twice, I got stood up twice in 2 weeks by the same woman. I'm blocked on her phone, or something happened with her phone, whatever. So I can't text her, so I message her on Instagram. Again, I give too much grace. I used to give too much grace. Now,
No.
One
fool
and
me
done.
once, shame on you. Fool me twice, I have some bitches that will hurt you.
Facts.
And they're right here.
Are here.
Facts.
She said, I don't know if I should really talk about it, but here we are, ... I don't want you to feel your default in drama somehow, ... My ex hacked my Apple ID and 2 of my socials and blocked and deleted half my contacts. The only social he didn't get into is Insta. My phone was acting weird the day before you and I planned to hang out, and I didn't put 2 and 2 together. I don't want you in the middle of all this drama because your number was one that was deleted, and so were all my texts. I'm so sorry. Truly don't want to be that girl, but here we are, ... And I said, are you okay? Because I didn't know what else to say. Yeah, just over it. I'm sorry. And then, again, too much grace, and I'm a girl's girl. I'm so sorry you're dealing with all of that. Have you thought about taking some action to protect yourself and your safety? That's not my responsibility to tell her that.
No, but you're very sweet.
You're just a nice human.
She said, I was going to change my number this Friday, but I don't know if that'll help. I can't say I'm sorry enough. It kicked my ass mentally for the last week, and I don't want anyone else having to deal with him. My dumbass says, I'll be here whenever you're ready. Absolutely not. Has he tried DMing you? No, I'm so sorry. It's okay. It's not your fault. Well, it was. She says, it kind of is. The first time I tried to hang out with you, he just magically showed up and needed to talk, and I should have known that he knew I was going out that night. I'm sorry I lied the first time and said I dropped my phone in the bathtub. I should have told you the truth, but it's just gone too far now, and I don't want you to be dragged into it. I said, I'm bummed to have been stood up twice in a row, especially because our connection via text was so strong. Be safe. She said, you too, babes. Sorry again. And then I said, I would recommend going to the police if I'm being totally honest. That's unsafe for you and me both. And she says, I have to have proof it's him. I'm sorry I put you in a position to feel unsafe. I never would intentionally make you feel that way. You are so beautiful. I'm so sorry. And then proceeds to swipe up on all of my thirst traps from last November to September, actually a couple weeks ago. So
you still have her on Instagram?
unfortunately, yes, because it's for the lore, and
Yeah.
I want proof
Can
of
I
those
see
messages.
what she looks like?
Yeah.
You guys don't get to see, but
We do.
friend privileges.
God.
So she's not a catfish. She's a real
No,
person.
she's a real person. And I matched with somebody else on Hinge. And when I followed that person on Hinge, she was a mutual with them. And so then I was like, hey, how do you know her? And I was like, and they were like, oh, I went to high school with her. And I was like, oh, this is what happened. She stood me up 2 weeks in a row. And they were like, oh, yeah, that checks out. She's been flaky since high school.
Oh my God. See, okay, guys, the dating pool, when people say the dating pool is rough right now,
It is.
they don't joke around. Like, it is tough.
Mm-hmm.
People be crazy.
Sorry, that was like such a word vomit. Too long, don't read. I got stood up twice in a week by the same woman.
For bullshit reasons.
She didn't drop her phone in the bathtub. She had a
No.
crazy ex, and I somehow got dragged into all of it.
God.
Even if she had a crazy ex, like, I don't even know if I believe that.
Yeah. She could just be flaky and
I
just
think
made a
she's-
worse lie.
Yeah.
She couldn't say she dropped her phone in the bathtub twice.
Yeah.
Literally, it takes 2 seconds. Hey, I'm not interested. I got cold feet. I'm not gay. I'm gay. I'm married. I'm divorced. I'm leaving the country. I'm joining the military. I don't like you. I have diarrhea today. Like, literally pick anything and just cancel on me so I don't show up to the fucking bar twice in a row and have to sit there with my $9 cup of juice and be sad.
And feel really dumb.
That was the best rant of all time.
And then it's like the worst walk of shame home.
Yeah.
And the same
The same
bartender,
bar.
he's like, you better not be meeting up with that girl who didn't show up last week. And I was like,
And then she didn't show up again.
I hope your $9 juice was on the house that time.
Yeah.
Was it? No. Oh, man.
No.
Bartender,
Yeah.
you suck. You could have done better.
Do better.
yeah, hit me with some French fries or something while we're at it.
Just anything. We'll pick me up.
Damn.
I'm so
Anyways.
sorry that happened to you.
It's okay.
You
It's
have
her
had some
loss.
Interesting,
It is her loss.
Interesting dating stories.
Yes.
But you've also had some like really good ones.
Yeah.
And obviously now where you're at now, you're. Yeah.
My favorite thing that Madison ever did, well, not favorite, but like one of the funniest things was when she sent me a picture of her current partner. It's like, hey, just making sure you don't know this person. Because at this point, there was too much overlap.
Fair enough.
I was like, never seen her in my life.
Yes.
Go forth.
So if you've ever seen the L word, you know of the
chart.
The chart. It's the same thing in the Dallas lesbian scene. And it's very rare to find somebody who does not know anybody in our friend group, because I'd like to think of us as the core group
We are.
of lesbians.
We are. We are the L word.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Y'all are just like inner city and I get all the outskirt farms.
You get the farm lesbian. You collect them.
Who does that make you then? Like, who would your character be on the show?
I feel like, who's the cop?
Oh, no, the military one.
Yeah, that checks out.
Alice?
The one
No.
that Alice dated.
Dates.
Yes,
Yeah,
that's you.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think
You're
Alice.
Alice.
Alice, for sure.
Yeah, I'm
Oh, for
definitely
sure.
Bet. Like, or actually, I might be Carmen. I don't know which one.
Oh, you're totally a Carmen.
Yeah, we're not gonna.
Okay,
end
but
with
you
it.
guys, in like a non-weird way, you kind of give Bet and Tina energy, like the positive side of Bet and
Yeah, I
Tina.
was like,
Yeah.
no.
In the few episodes where it was positive,
Yeah.
Yes. The wholesome, like, actual, like, this
Like
could
family.
be good.
yes,
Yeah.
And then they just devolved into madness.
Yeah.
Yes.
We're like all the good parts of Carmen and Shane and Bet and Tina.
yeah.
I love that.
I love the L word.
We love.
I
that
love
word.
being gay. Thanks for watching.
On that note, we love the fuck out of you guys. Thank you for joining us and joining Madison Truscan with us. We love you. Thank you for being here.
I love you both.
We're gonna go have a sleepover.
Yeah, go
And
forth.
eat
Lumber
candy.
party.
Yeah, go forth. Have a spicy trauma-filled day. We will have a spicy trauma-filled night.
Night.
Yes.
Be good.
Be gay.
Or don't. You should though.
We won't be good. We will be gay.
No good. Yes, gay.
Be gay, do crime.
That.
Bye.
If you like today's episode, follow us on social media at Trauma Bondage Pod. Follow Beth at Modern Day Lilith and Brigitte at Your Fae Femme.
If voyeurism is your kink, subscribe to our YouTube channel, Trauma Bondage Podcast. Production by Instrumental Media. Special thanks to D. Dumpy and Wolfstar for music.
feel like I'm totally living out my like 5th grade like TV show fantasy right now. Like when I used to like set up the camcorder and like
God.
record myself
Just talk
dancing in my
into the
bedroom.
camera.
Yeah.
Oh my
Hold
God.
my hairbrush as my microphone.